everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. This is a review of the Weiss standard issue field watch. This is an interesting story, and it means a lot to me since it's basically here in Los Angeles, and I'm in Los Angeles, and I'm raised in Los Angeles. Weiss is a relatively new watchmaker based in Los Angeles by a guy named Cameron Weiss. Nice gentleman, and he is a watchmaker, and he decided, hey, I want to not only have a U.S. Watch brand that I'm making here in the U.S., but I also want to be something which is proudly in Los Angeles. So the movement right now is not American, but it is assembled in America. And I think at some point, a lot of the sort of burgeoning new U.S. watchmakers would love to have more U.S. options when it comes to mechanical movements. But the case and the strap and the dial, these are all U.S. made in addition to the watch being assembled in the United States. This is a retro style watch, and the name Standard Issue Field Watch, of course, relates to the fact that this is very much military inspired. You have an extremely legible instrument style dial. Inside the watch is a Swiss Unitas 6497, I believe, that again is assembled in the U.S. And let's see over here on the back, there it is. He uses a pretty good grade movement, and again, because he's a watchmaker, he does assemble the kits themselves. And my understanding is that some of the decoration also takes place here in the U.S., which I think is really cool. Now, these movements are relatively common, and you see them a lot. And one of the reasons is because they're actually good movements. These were essentially designed in, I believe, the 1940s. And this has been seen on a lot of different movements out there. It's simple. It's a three-hand, with the subsidiary second style there. Panerai use these movements. A lot of companies use these movements. And one thing I learned that these are actually more expensive than some of the automatics that ETA produces, and so that these are actually more in demand in some circumstances. It's actually a very good movement. I've had watches with this movement. It's simple, but it's accurate and it's quite durable. And the only drawback for me is that it does not automatically wind. There are people who have put modules on this movement that have allowed it to become an automatic, but that's neither here nor there. I like that. Given this used to be a pocket watch movement, so you can see that it fully fills up the back of the case there. So you don't have a situation where you have a window in the back and there's like a small movement. It really fits the case nicely, which I think is quite attractive and definitely a benefit to the design. It's, again, I've mentioned that it's a simple watch, but it's attractive and the details are done. The case was a lot nicer than I expected. It comes here on this, this is a green canvas strap. There's also a leather strap that I believe that comes with it. On the wrist, like I said, it's very traditional looking, but also utilitarian. I am not someone that really enjoys vintage watches, but I would wear this because it's very much an instrument watch. I love how legible it is. I think he did a great job using the right elements to make it legible. The right length hands definitely help. I mean, if there is ever a case for a watch that could be made or broken by hands, is something like this. With the right sized hands, it looks great. If there were hands that were too short, it would have just completely changed all the proportions and wouldn't have looked nearly as nice. The bezel and the case back are polished, while the side of the case here is brushed. I think that's a nice detail, and it definitely upgrades the look of this watch. It's definitely well made. The US and of course Los Angeles character is neat because it says Los Angeles right there on the dial. And Weiss produces each of these by hand, basically on order. So if you order one, he's just going to put one together for you, which I think is really, really cool. There's also a version of this watch, the standard issue field watch, with a white dial. And this is basically the only model that they have right now. More will come in the future, and I think this is a great brand to support if you're interested in traditional watchmaking as well as made in America. Price for the standard issue field watch is $795, and you can see the full review soon on aBlogtoWatch. Thanks.